Welcome back. Our next guest is in town to accept the Changemaker Award at the Twin Cities Film Fest, and it's there where she's showcasing her new film called Overheated. Look.
I remember days where I wouldn't be able to leave my house because the roads would turn into rivers, and it would look like you're in a post-apocalyptic movie scene.
When I saw the floods, when I saw the landslides, I decided I had to do something about it.
Honestly, I just feel like Western civilizations should just reevaluate their own knowledge about everything.
War, famine, fire and flood, poverty. Halt climate change is our priority.
Oh, I love a good trailer. Y'all know that. That's a great trailer. That's the film Overheated, all about climate change and how it's impacting quite literally everything around us. Please welcome filmmaker and, hello, you've heard me say it 8,000 times. She just happens to be the mom of Billie Eilish, Maggie Baird, everybody. Hi, Maggie.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for being here. Love that color, by the way. It's a green day today. I know we didn't even tell each other. I know.
Oh, and your mom
I know.
wants you to call her back.
Twinning. There's one thing to be concerned, and I think most of us are concerned about climate change. There's quite another to be so concerned that you wanted to produce a documentary. When and how did that happen?
Well, I am very concerned. I've been concerned for decades because we've known all this was coming. It's been happening around the world.
Not
for
breaking news, as we say.
Not
in
breaking.
business.
It's not breaking news. And my daughter is, and my son have a wonderful platform. It's kind of allowed me to bring climate change, which I care so much about, to the fore of what I do in helping Billie with her touring and her merch and make everything as sustainable as possible. So when she was performing at the O2 in London, we had 6 days of climate activities called Overheated, which is a title of one of Billie's songs. So we had climate activists, we had fashions, we had upcycling fashion and clothes swaps, and we also produced this documentary piece, which is really about climate anxiety and the beauty of our planet, the fragility of our planet.
I definitely suffer from climate anxiety.
Have you? All of a sudden I heard a voice. I was like, there's a voice.
Timing.
Have you always been, maybe the term is socially active, not, you know what I mean? Have
Yes.
you always been active?
Yes, I grew up in Western Colorado. I grew up in a very beautiful state, and I really, I saw an infographic in 1981 that, made the connection between what we eat and the destruction of the Amazon rainforest. It was specifically about how much to make one hamburger for a fast food chain destroyed the Amazon rainforest. And that was in 1981. So that really influenced
That one
me.
infographic?
Yes, and of course the book Diet for a Small Planet.
Yep.
But that infographic really made an impression on me of like, oh, what we eat really is affecting our planet. And, here we are these decades later, and everything that scientists told us was going to happen is happening.
Speaking of food, correct me if I'm wrong, you have a foundation dealing with food insecurity, right?
Yes, we have a nonprofit called Support and Feed, and we feed nourishing plant-based meals because that is the climate-friendly food that we can eat. We serve those meals to people experiencing food insecurity in food apartheid areas with lack of access for either proximity or financial means. And so we address climate change and food insecurity with one strategy.
Well, there is okay, not that I doubted it. That's why you're getting the Changemaker Award. What has it been like? What's the reaction been? You're here for the Twin Cities Film Fest. What has the reaction? Have you been in front of a lot of audiences with it so far?
No, not a lot of audience. We showed it there, and then we're showing it here. I mean, it's a beautiful film. It's
gorgeous. Even that trailer.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and I think it has Billie and my son Phineas and a lot of young activists and artists, entertainers, and fashion people. The reaction has been incredible, and Minneapolis is a city that we love and that we're so excited to bring Support and Feed to. We've been working here with the restaurants and the organization, so it's a wonderful city.
You are an amazing woman. You raised two amazing human beings. I mean, Billie and Phineas. Did you know, and I thought about you back there because it's, not to make it about me, but I was like, my mom always knew that I was weird. You know what I mean? My mom, and I always tell the story, I used to watch The Tonight Show, and then I would walk outside on a rock and do a show for raccoons and critters. And my mom always knew that I'm not gonna follow the normal path. Did you have a sense at an early age that Phineas and Billie were destined to be creatives?
Yes, not at all destined to have what happened. That was well beyond whatever I could have possibly imagined. But they were also weird, and they also
in the best way possible.
In the best way possible. So no, I definitely knew that they, were creative at their heart, and that was what they wanted to. That was where their interests lay.
Layla, I know. Is it?
I almost said
lie?
Lou. I was like,
Lou.
what is that?
And lieu of, I think it's lie, where their interests lie, right, audience?
Interests
Who
lay?
cares? The grammar police will inevitably email me, so it's fine.
I would be interested to what they have to say.
I mean, me too. But yeah, you kind of had an idea, like my mom did. They're not going to be, like, I hate the word normal. They're not going to have a normal job, probably.
Probably not. Didn't
Yeah.
seem likely.
I mean, sincerely, we're going to take a break, but let me just brag on you, because kids don't just happen. They happen because they have a good foundation. I'm just saying, it's about you. Billie, 7 Grammys and 1 Oscar. Phineas, 8 Grammys and 1 Oscar. I mean, seriously. Okay, more questions, because Maggie was in one of my Maggie's been like in a bazillion shows, and we're a pop culture centric show, so I got to ask her about that, plus more about the film and more. Stay right there. Now, before you go though, Overheated will premiere tomorrow night. If you have to leave for whatever reason, I don't really want you to not watch the show, but if you have to leave, tomorrow at the Twin Cities Film Fest for tickets, it's at the bottom of your screen. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. More with Maggie. Welcome back. More with Maggie. Again, I'm going to get into the weeds with her talking about shows, but she's here to promote Overheated. Go get tickets, support this film, TwinCitiesFilmFest.org. We'll tell you at the end once again. Okay, Maggie, you've been in dozens of movies and TV shows. You taught at the Groundlings, which I'm in awe of that. Okay, you've been in Murphy Brown, LA Law, Bones, The X-Files, and 6 Feet Under. One of my favorite. Okay, who the hell were you in 6 Feet Under? I love. That's one of my favorite shows.
Okay, season 5. I was the opening death of season 5. I got a
What?
Yeah, I got a brass andiron through the eye.
I remember you. Ted, look that up quickly. First death in season 5. You were the final season death.
Yes.
Okay, let me explain for people that do not know.
It was a great show. One of my favorite shows ever.
Correct me if I'm wrong, man. It had one of the best series finales ever.
Oh, that show was great first to last.
It never. So if you do not know the concept why Maggie said the first death, every episode started with a death, because it was about a family that runs a funeral home. So you never knew how they were going to kill people off. Exhibit A. I mean, you know what I mean? A brass. What did you have through your eye?
Brass andiron. Remember, I fell on the.
You fell on it. That's right. That's right. And then Bones, LA Law, X-Files, Murphy Brown.
That was so. I don't know.
You don't remember? You were. Yeah. Do you miss it?
I like it. I mean, I still consider myself an actor.
Yeah.
I mainly, work with help my daughter and work with the nonprofit. That's what I really do. But I still consider myself an actor. But I don't miss auditioning. I don't miss that part of it.
Yeah. I would imagine
I don't
that
ever have to do that
gets
again.
old. Yeah, I don't think you would have to audition anymore. I'm just gonna say. So what's next for you? So you're gonna tour the country with the movie, and then what are you working on now? I'm sure you're working on probably 50 things.
Well, mainly we have a nonprofit, Support and Feed, and that's what we care about. We're in many cities around the country and expanding on a daily basis, feeding as many people as we can, trying to get people turned on to understanding the impact of what they eat, calibrating their plate, taking a pledge to eat at least 1 plant-based meal a day. That can really make a big difference. So that's my big mission.
When I heard that you had the foundation about food insecurity, I think that's so important. We do stuff here with Second Harvest Heartland.
Yes.
And I always love shining a light on those organizations, because I think even now, even though I think we're all more educated about it, I think people have a perception of the type of person that is dealing with food insecurity, and it's so wrong. You know where I'm going. It crosses people with food cross all geographic demographics and socioeconomical numbers. And I like people to know that that is still going on. And it could be your neighbor. It could be the kid down the street.
Yeah, we have a huge problem in this country with food insecurity, and yet we have a surplus of food. You know, we have a problem getting food to where it needs to be. We have people who are isolated from it by the way their communities are set up, and also affordability. So we have enough food, we have to get it to the people, and in our case we also support local businesses. We purchase the meals at a fair rate from local businesses, so we support the local economy too, which, you know, is all part of the same system, right? The farm worker to the trucker to the person who puts it on your table, all has to be supported.
Yeah, because we have great organizations around here that, you know, I am involved in a restaurant that they, at the end of the day, they come, they pick it up, because we do have the waste. It's how do you get that food that's perfectly fine to the people that need it? And there's great programs now that can do that.
Yeah, and Chef FEMA is working with us. We have many restaurants in town right now. 8 restaurants are adding plant-based meals to their menu for 10 days, starting October 20th?
Yeah.
Today?
Today.
Is it today?
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah. I love FEMA. David, I love you. Maggie, come back whenever you're in town, please.
Oh,
Thank you. Maggie Baird, everybody. Again, go get tickets to the film fest. We're gonna right there at the bottom of your screen.
Come at 3 o'clock. We have plant-based bites for you.
3 o'clock.
And
go.
clothes.
We'll feed you. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, 3 o'clock today. That's when the